Hello, it's Polish Paul VR, welcome to my channel and let's do another episode of PSVR SUPERSHOW, my weekly show in which I'm talking everything PlayStation VR. We've got different segments of the show. We're gonna talk about next week releases as well as the biggest stories past this week and the games that we've been playing this week as well. Also, I'm adding a new segment of the show which I'm calling PSVR Spotlight. And each week we're gonna look at different game quite extensively, different upcoming game. This week I'm gonna concentrate on Down the Rabbit Hole. I'm gonna talk through to you about the game, but also we're gonna look at some gameplay and all the game's mechanics. Basically, if I manage to play the game, be it an early beta on PSVR or early press version or a PC code, whatever, I'm gonna be talking about it in the Spotlight section. And of course, before I start, as always, if you like what you're seeing, then please press a like because it does help the channel a lot. And if you're new to the channel and are not subscribed, then subscribe. It's always better when it's more of us. Okay, we're gonna start from PlayStation VR The Drop, which is next week releases. We've got two games coming out on 31st of March, and those two games, first one is Final Assault.
To victory.
I spoke about this game many times on my channel. I cannot wait to try it and play it. This is your real-time strategy game. You can play it single player and go through the campaign, but also you can play it in online multiplayer. When the game launches on PSVR, it will launch with cross-platform support from day one, so you'll be able to take on the PC VR players as well and have the awesome battles. Very immersive controls as well. You like drawing on the ground or in the skies and you see your units doing different stuff. Of course, tons and tons of units as well. The developers saying when the game drops on PlayStation VR, it will launch with the DLC. The DLC is called Vanguard DLC. And what it adds, it's basically more cool shit to the game. You're gonna get more units, more maps. The game already in its state that it is now on the PC, it's quite larger game and very nice game. Had very good reviews, so we are up for a treat when it releases 31st of March. We've been waiting for it for quite a while. I think the original plan was to release it at the end of the last year, but sadly it's got few delays. But nevertheless, it's ready now. They basically, what they had to do is do some optimizations. They said in past the game was working and everything, but you know, the things wasn't as smooth as they should be when you had tons of units on the screen. And of course, they need to have this game to perform as same on PC, because they want you to play against PC players. So I'm glad that they managed to optimize it. I'm glad we're getting it with extra content, and I cannot wait to just try it. Okay, and next game that will be coming out next week is Good Goliath.
There used to be a lot of them. Now, there are none. Well, that's what we thought. Until today.
lately announced. We didn't know that much about it until the announcement, but now we know. I've got my game already, I'm gonna play through it, do a review and everything. But of course, as always, I watch YouTube and I read internet, and the first impressions from this game are very good. Apparently got very nice and tight gameplay, but as well sound and graphics are really nice as well. So what is the meaning and what is the message? Basically, in this game you becoming a Goliath, and it is a tower defense game, but apart from being a Goliath, you also becoming a tower. And loads of things attacking you, especially humans. They hate you, they like telling you go away, fuck off. You like no, I shall defend myself. Apart from humans, there's some sharks and everything. The game got very nice looking boss battles, so definitely another nice release. Very colorful graphics, something I like to see in PlayStation VR. We've had plenty of those games who's going for this cartoonish graphic style, but usually they are very simple and you don't see many textures or many nice effects. Well, this one is different because already, as you can see from the trailer, it looks very nice and colorful, kind of like you would expect from 3D animated movies, which I appreciate. And it's got this panicky gameplay style when you just, have to think fast and act fast as well. So, very nice game, cannot wait to play it. I'm gonna start it once I finish this show. So, that's the Good Goliath and Final Assault for you. Two games that coming out next week and two very nice looking and very promising games, so happy times. But anyway, moving on to the first part of the spotlight. Before I show you the gameplay from what I've been playing and talk you through the game, I want to show you first the gameplay trailer from Down the Rabbit Hole.
What's that? You want to hear a story about Wonderland?
Patches? Patches!
Very well.
Holy carrots! Honestly, she's earned that nap.
Hello? Is anyone here?
You caused this whole mess. Now you need to help me out. Find those invitations and get them to the Hatter in the Keep of Hearts.
Follow me. Oh, a narrow passage. I love these.
That is Steve, bravest of the Butterfly Lords.
Okay, I fix.
You look lost.
No time.
And now I'm inside a giant clock. Oh, an invitation. No one's ever going to believe this.
Okay, in this part of the show, I will be talking about the games that we've been playing this past week. We've had a lot of releases, it was kind of quiet at the beginning of the year, and now everything seems to be coming out. I always try to play all the games that are out, but sadly lately I cannot do that, so I have to pick and choose. As some of you know, I work in healthcare. I live in UK, even though I work in a private company. They've had deal with the NHS, so the NHS could have 8,000 new beds to treat the patients. But that means for me a lot of more working hours and less time to play games. But hey, what can you do? It's a shitty situation we live in bit of a challenging times at the moment. But I'm sure we all gonna get through it, hopefully just fine. But anyway, I'm gonna start from the Paper Beasts. So this is coming from the developer of Another World, and it shows, because as revolutionary as Another World was, this one kind of is as well. I managed to play through the story. It's also got this sandbox mode, and I must say I loved most of the game. What's happening is you are being dropped to this world and you just kind of don't know what to do, just like in Another World, the game not holding your hand at all. You're looking around and thinking, yes, what's next? But slowly you will figure out the game, will show you their gameplay mechanics naturally. You can play with move controllers or with DualShock as well. I prefer this game with moves because sadly there is no smooth locomotion or smooth turning, so I went for moves. They were kind of like magic wands, so you can pick stuff and extend it and stuff like that. So it nicely shows off the weight of the objects you picking, but sadly you don't have this your own hands. but nevertheless, story is very hard to understand and I probably still don't get it, but I loved all of it. It was very nice put together game and definitely very good game. So in my review I gave it an 8.5. Now I kind of wish maybe I should have gone a bit higher, I don't know, but very good game. Many of you probably bought it already. If you never bought it but thinking about it, then you're safe to do so, safe to buy it. It's a very good, very nice game. And the terrain what you can play with and all the environmental puzzles, it's all done by AI and it's very interesting concept because you can have different approach to different puzzles, so it's different ways you can solve them. Very nice, very happy with this release. Another game I had a chance to play through was ATEX Cybernetic and I really like this one. I played it on PC as well. PSVR version a bit toned down but not too much. The main complaint I've had in my review was that there is not that much ragdoll mechanics. I don't know if it's come across right. Basically the ragdolling is still there, but as soon as you kill the enemy they disappear straight away, so you cannot kind of like piece about with their bodies and stuff. But nevertheless the game got melee, the game got plenty of weapons and that's very nice because you've got different ways of killing your enemies. It's got proper story mode, about 5 hours long, but also plenty of replayability if you want to play it on higher levels. Also it's got this horde mode and that's very nice and polished as well. I know some of you said maybe I scored it too high. I'm gonna stand by my score because I think for the price $19.99 8 out of 10 is quite right to give to this game, but I know many of you was disappointed as well, especially after watching PC gameplays, that the PSVR version is a bit toned down. Maybe we're gonna get a patch in future, I do not know. I'm assuming there is not that much pro optimizations because I think if it was just for pro you would get all those ragdoll effects what we want that lasting longer. But nevertheless, I've had a fun and we don't have that many shooters on PlayStation VR. So, you know, this one is on a better side, at least for me. And also, it's not too expensive for the amount of game you're gonna get. So, I was happy with that one as well. What I wasn't happy about it was the fact that sadly I have to skip the Room Dark Matter, a game that getting glowing reviews everywhere. I sadly couldn't do it, no time like I said to play everything. But what's happening in this game, you go into the Museum of Archaeology and somebody dies and then you doing your investigations, but a lot of nice puzzles. I'm hearing a lot of super awesome special effects and also I'm hearing the game looks beautiful and it's very original. There is no smooth locomotion or, you know, smooth turning, but to the game like that, when it's more concentrating on the puzzles, I don't mind anyway. And also, like I said, very good reviews, so very good release. I hope I'm gonna get time to play it eventually once we out of this corona situation. I definitely be catching up on all of the awesome games I could not play. And also this week we've had surprise release, which was Tilt Brush from Google. Very good that they released now, because what I'm seeing, what people making in Dreams proper trumps the Tilt Brush. Tilt Brush, very nice and very nice application to draw, to create, you know, get your artistic side out, you can make some awesome looking shit. And of course in Dreams, once that get VR mode eventually, then Tilt Brush, I don't know how much use gonna be out of it. But it's a very solid application, the one that lets you just do and create whatever drawings and paintings you want to do on a massive scale, so very nice. Another thing, we was playing the Beat Saber DLC. I kind of now stopped playing Beat Saber now. I don't find the music variety that good in this game, even though it's a very nice game and I know you all love it, I love it as well. But I kind of skipping new packs now because I don't see the point. But this is a Timbaland music pack and it's added extra 5 songs to the game, so cannot complain, because if you are a fan of Beat Saber, you're probably gonna love it. Okay, before I move to the another part of the show, which is the wrap-up, in which I'm taking all the biggest PSVR news stories past last week and putting them together into nice little segment, I want to show you another trailer for Down the Rabbit Hole, continuing the spotlight of this game. And of course, later on in the video, I'm gonna show you my gameplay and I'm gonna tell you how the game it is. Is it good or does it suck balls? But as of now, let's just check out this launch trailer for this game.
You want to hear a story about Wonderland? Very well.
This place, it's beautiful.
Follow me.
Ah, you again. You look lost.
I don't even remember my name anymore.
Do you want to be my friend?
King needs more food, never enough food.
Find those invitations and get them to the Hatter in the Keep of Hearts.
And what do we have here? I am the Queen. This is my Wonderland.
You wish to pursue the Queen. She has most likely returned to her home. To travel there, you will need to pass through the forest of many cats.
Wow, I've never seen anything like this.
I'm sure you can figure it out.
It's like a maze. I'm not leaving without you.
The Council's executioner.
No, please don't.
Little Petrubilar girl.
I will confront her.
What an eccentric performance.
Okay, let's do the wrap-up. Let's see what was the biggest news past last week, and I would like to start from PANZER DRAGOON VR. VR in this case stands for Voyage Records. Like I said in my news video, this is the gameplay from the remake, which is currently out on Switch as a time exclusive, but it will be coming to PS4 as well eventually. There is no trailer for PANZER DRAGOON VR now yet, but hopefully they will show us some of the gameplay very soon. But nevertheless, I want to talk about it because what's happened is I reported about this game before, but in past I said they didn't announce any platform yet, so I was speculating maybe it's gonna be exclusive to one platform, maybe it will come to everything, and they announced and said yes, it's coming to every currently available headset what supports virtual reality, which means of course PlayStation VR will get it as well. Regarding the release date, there is no release date yet. They saying it will come out by the end of March 2021, but I do hope that we're gonna see it this year. PANZER DRAGOON, of course, very classic game. Back in the day when Sega had their own consoles and been making their own exclusive games. Sadly, those times are over now, but thankfully we entered the time of VR. And Sega keep dipping their toes. They released this Hatsune Miku and some free experiences. We had Mega Drive Classics with little VR support, but this is like one of their proper big IP from back in the day that they gonna bring to virtual reality, so my hope is that it will sell shitloads of copies. Fingers crossed that it's a good game and it's gonna get great reviews, and of course hopefully players will buy it. I mean, just the name got such a big value to it, I'm sure people be chucking some money at it, but my speculation is maybe if this sells well, then we're gonna see other Sega games that we want in VR, which probably is most of Sega games, especially their arcade classics, what was absolutely fantastic. As always, stay tuned to the channel. As soon as I know any more info about PANZER DRAGOON VR, I'll be passing it on, but this is something what might be very special. Okay, and another big story last week was Budget Cuts and its release date. The game will come out on 15th of May. The original plans for this game was to have it released in fall 2019. As we know, that didn't happen, and as always what's happened is I think they struggled a bit with optimizations. That's what they keep saying on Twitter and Discord when they was asked about the game. They've been saying yes, we still optimizing it, so my best guess is it's been going back and forth to Sony's QA, then back to them with feedback, then they had to fix something and send it, submit it again. But finally we've got the release date. Let's hope it's the final release date. But apart from getting news about it, about when the game gonna come out, we also had little nice news telling us that Perp Games, our beloved Perp Games, who always giving us shit ton of disc releases for PSVR, gonna be putting budget codes on disc as well. And usually when we get in disc version of the game, it's coming out a bit later, so digital usually hits stores first. But not in this case. On the day of the release, 15th of May, you'll be able to buy budget codes either from the digital store and download it, or order, get yourself physical version. I don't know if you'll be able to leave the house, so you know, to go to shop, so probably gonna have to be delivered to you. But if you are a collector and liked your games on the disc, then budget codes will be getting disc version. Now, Budget Codes is kind of oldish now PC VR game, come out in 2017 to a very good reviews, but it still holds up until today. You basically work in an office, you get the phone call, somebody tells you, run, hide, you fucked, you need to do something, they want to kill you. You've got like those robot supervisors, you had to survive, so that's very, very nice. But also, I don't know if you know, they released the second Budget Codes as well, which was published, by the way, by Fast Travel Games, the same studio that gave us Apex Construct and the Curious Tale of Stolen Pets. So when they was asked if second one gonna come to PSVR, they basically said that if the budget code sells well, they're gonna look at it, so hopefully budget codes will be successful. I think it will be anyway, because it's a very good game, and if PSVR version is as good as PC version, then it's gonna be a very, very solid release. Okay, and another news we've had, and that was a bit of sad news about GORN. It's a bit delayed, sadly. What's happened is they must have failed Sony's QA, so they said they submitted it, but they've had some feedback and they need to work on something in the game. Now, how this feedback was and how big the work they have to do on the game, they didn't told us. All we know is that they need to fix something. Now, if the fixes are easy and, you know, something what not takes too much time, hopefully they be able to resubmit for Sony's QA very, very soon. But if it's something bigger, you know, might take a bit longer. And also don't forget, even if they resubmit it to Sony's, they gonna have to pass it, and if they pass it, there is still some time to publish the game, to do some bits and bobs with the stores and translations and everything. But of course the GORN is still happening. Don't get angry at the developers, because they're doing their best to have this game out, and I know some developers got it easier, seems like it, but this studio is not a very big team, and what they did, they created very good, very popular game. Let's say they struck gold, but you know, it's a smaller team. So to put it on PSVR, it's probably bigger task for them, especially that the games need to run very, very smooth and very, very nice on original PS4. With PS4 Pro, probably not as many problems. So that's what they have to go through now. And of course, when you get PS5, hopefully we're not gonna see those problems anymore. But GORN is very, very good. GORN is still happening. Let's hope it will become this month. Maybe it might not happen, might be May or even later. But let's just hope that it's gonna be soon. The developers definitely trying to give us as good game as possible. And Sony, of course, wants the game to be good as well. My best guess is must be optimization, because as we know, shitty games passing QA. Games like Warzone or Reborn, Samurai Awakens, or Fug Life, you know, all the shit that was thrown at us in past, this was passing Sony's QA, and that's because probably it's not been making people sick, and also it's been running with those minimum 60 FPS per eye all the time. So I'm assuming it's something to do with optimizations or maybe comfort settings, but once they fixed it, once everything is done and running properly, then they're gonna give us release date. They're not gonna announce anything before that, because they wanted to have it set in stone before they tell us everything. Because as we know, they kind of jumped the boat, and during last year's Sony States of Play, Sony shown GORN and said it's gonna be coming winter 2019, and as we know that didn't happen, so I think the developers like kind of are extra careful before giving us any information regarding release date, but rest assured the GORN will still happen. Okay, and now let's continue the spotlight of Down the Rabbit Hole. I managed to play the game on PC, the PC version, the developers sent it to me. I didn't play through all the game, I'm guessing I'm about halfway through, I played about 2 hours, but I don't want to spoil the PSVR version when I be playing it, so to have full review I'm gonna wait for PSVR release, as it's PSVR channel, but I can give you my impressions of the game so far and talk to you about mechanics and everything. The release date for this game for PlayStation VR, it's sometime in early April, so it's not too far away. So let's just do it. So once you fire up the game, you'll be welcome with nice introduction scene, and you see in little house there is a forest and the girl looking for her animal. What animal is it? You don't know, you don't even know the girl's name, but you'll be kind of guessing it throughout the gameplay when you're playing through the game and progressing through the levels. And that cutscene as well transitions nicely to the gameplay. You enter in the house and the game doing very good job with introducing you to all the gameplay mechanics. Very nice game design, I like it, it felt so natural. If you remember games like, I don't know, Super Mario Bros, and you start the game, you jump and you hit the question mark sign and coin pop up, then you jump and you get the mushrooms, and it's kind of like naturally invites you and shows you how the game works. It's kind of similar here, you're doing like little puzzle, not even a puzzle, you're just finding something and then you're finding out how the game works. So very nice, very pleased with it. But also the camera control is very good. So the game shows you the scenes. You enter in one room, one house, whatever, one biome, I don't know how to call it. And then you can move around with your controllers. So to grab it and pan it, you using one controller, you grab like a tree root of a tree, of course, and then to zoom it in and out and turn it around, you grabbing 2 tree roots. But of course on PlayStation VR, as our move controllers sadly don't have thumbsticks, my best guess is gonna be DualShock, and you'll be doing that action just using DualShock instead, 2 controllers. Because you will need thumbsticks for this game, as the game is from third-person mode and that's how you control your characters. By the way, there is more than one characters to control, there is some puzzles, I entered one, very nice, very original as well. When I've been kind of controlling 2 characters and switching between them, it was just press of a button, but worked very nice. It's like playing co-op with yourself, I really liked it. But I touched a bit on the story, so you looking for your animal, you opening the hatch to go downstairs, and you falling through the hole, and you falling, and then you land in the Wonderland. You're not Alice though, this is before Alice's times, but you kind of forgetting everything once you land. I don't know, did you hit your head so hard or falling for so long? You know you're looking for your animal, but you don't know what it is, you don't even know your name. But as the game progresses, you kind of be guessing it because the cards appearing, and I don't know, that might be affecting the gameplay a bit. Then you're gonna meet the rabbit, you're gonna scare the rabbit. As you fall, the rabbit goes, oh shit, and drops in the air all his invitations. So you'll be finding that throughout the game as well. Very nice, it's kind of got this heartwarming feeling. But also what I liked about it, every character you're gonna interact with, you're gonna meet along your very, very interesting journey, it's got its own voice actor, so that adds to the immersion as well. Sometimes we know VR games not getting as big budget, so sometimes we do a lot of reading. In this game, every character is nicely voiced and also nicely animated. Graphic wise, the game is very, very nice looking, very colorful art style, kind of like in some kind of fairy tale adventure books, and that's what it reminded me as well, especially how it is presented. Like I said, you turn in this world, but you can see around you the different rooms you visited in past, so eventually this world just grows in front of you and it's nice just to look around. You can, move your head to look as close as the objects as you want, but also for some puzzles the game will enter you into the first person mode, and the world of the game from the first person looks very, very nice as well. Soundtrack wise, you probably saw it in the trailer, that's something what plays in the game as well, so everything feels very polished. But also, I would like to talk a bit about the performance of the game. This is the gameplay I recorded on PC, and usually when I play the PC VR game, my laptop copes with it and the game looks nice, but sometimes once I start using recording software, the game performance can, go a bit slower, a bit lower. Not in this case, everything works still smooth, so that indicates the game is super nicely optimized, so there shouldn't be problem with PlayStation VR version at all. So far my impressions with this game are very positive. I kind of didn't wanted to stop to play it, I wanted to carry on through the story, but like I said, I don't want to spoil it for myself when I start playing PSVR version, so I just gonna have to wait, hopefully not too long. But I must say, Down the Rabbit Hole is very nice and very solid title. Cartopia Studios, the developers of this game, they already done one game in VR, which was kind of like fantasy multiplayer game, but this is a different beast, different kind of game with proper story. I like the story of this game, I like that it's story driven, and also I like the puzzles, they are quite original. And I like the dialogue, what they did in this game, because this is very original as well. It's just like playing a game, but reading a very nice book. The stuff what the characters coming out with, and the way how they saying it really makes me smile when I play this game. So far definitely very solid title, and also something what I be definitely looking forward to, and I think you should start looking forward to it as well. It's not the game like your Moss or Astrobot when there is loads of platforming, you kind of just using your thumbstick to move your character around the levels. Platforming wise there's not that much, and when it's something that you just pressing button and your character kind of does it. What this game got is being story driven and kind of puzzle driven as well, and also very nice original presentation and very addictive gameplay. And because the story is so good, you just want to keep progressing and seeing other very original characters. You probably noticed I used the word original a lot during talking about this game, and I think that is because this game is very original. So another solid release coming to PSVR next month, definitely well worth it. Of course, stay tuned to my channel. Once the PSVR version hit, I'll be doing the review and I'll be playing through the PSVR version. Okay, and now it's time to do another part of the show, which is GAMIVERSARY, and in this part I'm talking about the games that come out during this time but in the previous years. And I would like to start from talking about Fated, which came out on 29th of March 2017, 3 years ago. Who would have thought? Well, first of all, this game was planned as an episodic game, so this is supposed to be first episode, but of course we never seen any more of it, as it happens a lot with episodic games. Kind of been compared to Skyrim for some very strange reason. I'm assuming it's because it's happening in similar world, but it's not the open world game. This is a game when you basically just doing what the game wants you to do. They're introducing different mechanics along your gameplay. You're doing some bow and arrow shooting, there is a bit of platforming. The game action happening from the first person mode, I must say it holds up very well because it's very sharp games. Even though games those days was going out, sometimes they not as sharp as Fated, and because it's cheap as chips, I would recommend it. It's a very fun little game, don't expect mega long gameplay, I think it was like under an hour, but nevertheless for the price not too bad. On the same day in 2017, Corix came out. Corix is one of not many real-time strategy games on PlayStation VR, a genre that is very underrepresented. Of course, we finally getting something else, which is Final Assault, which I spoke about it in this video, but of course before Final Assault 3 years ago we've had Corix. This game come out digitally in US first, then it's managed to find its way to the European game store, but also it's out on disc if you buy Perp Games VR collection, Mega Collection, where you've got 5 different VR games. One of those games is Corix as well.
Now you will fight a swarm of predators. Welcome to the Black Hand. Any new recipes?
Now moving on, fast forward in the year, and on the 25th of March 2018, Cave Digger Riches came out. Funnily enough, I've got this game and I never kind of had a chance to play it. Cave Digger, basically, it's what it says in the title. You go in and you dig in with your little digging device and you collecting stuff, getting the best digging loot possible. But also, after the release, the game had huge updates and it's kind of introduced locomotion and extra locations. And all in all, it's not too expensive games, but also it's very nice game. And day after this came out, we've had Angry Birds Isle of Pigs. Another game I've got and never played. Something been happening in February last year, I can't remember what. Oh yeah, I've been getting ready to go on my honeymoon, that's why I didn't play so many games during that time. But anyway, Angry Birds Isle of Pigs, did I say February? I meant March. Coming back to the game, Isle of Pigs, of course, Angry Birds in VR, you can't go wrong. Plays like a mobile game, but in VR, so you've got all your motion controls and everything. I'm hearing very fun gameplay. Also, after the release, they managed to update it with Level Editor, which for limited time was for free. I think those days you have to pay for it, but nevertheless, Angry Birds Isle of Pigs, funny game. And also on 26th of March 2019, I'm getting all the dates confused now, but on the 26th we've had Skyward, and this is another strategy game for PlayStation VR. This is another game I didn't have a chance to play it, but this is another game that got quite positive reviews. In this game you enter in the Skyward and you managing and trying to survive. This game was published by the same studio who brought us Arizona Sunshine and all the DLCs, and this game is very good as well. And also the Vertigo games now, of course, working on After the Fall, which looks absolutely fantastic. And on 26th of March 2019 we've had Space Junkies. I've had a chance to play this game actually, and it's very fun, but sadly it's kind of getting dead now. Didn't pick up that greatly. It come out with move support, no, with dual shocks at the beginning, only support, and then they added the move. I don't know if it was too late or not. They even added 3D ruder and they gave us shitload of content for free. I think Ubisoft tried to keep this game alive for as long as possible. But of course, with smaller VR base, I'm not talking only on PSVR, but VR in general, to get a multiplayer VR game that keeps alive for a very long time, it's quite hard to do. Firewall done it on PSVR, there's some first-person shooters who's done it on PC VR, but sadly Space Junkies kind of died, and it's a very solid game. Now, I think Ubisoft, when it comes to VR game, they went a lot for this multiplayer approach, which I wish they kind of went for single-player story-driven games first, because now they might be a bit scolded that their game's not really... Well, they selling well, but they dying pretty fast. But hopefully next Ubisoft game gonna be something cool, and hopefully we will see it on PlayStation VR. Anyway, another game. On 29th of March we've had Counterfight and Counterfight Samurai Edition. Samurai Edition is the third game on the PC, the second one never come to PSVR. It's getting a bit confusing because then they released fourth one and also they releasing another one. Counterfight is a series when it's nicely progressing from being okay to really terrible. Each game they releasing seem to be worse and worse. I don't know why, how they managing it, but people must be buying it because they working on a fifth game in this series, which just shows this must be the most popular VR series because it's getting most sequels and they coming out at super fast paced, but it's probably because they not really changing that much apart from the environment and making the game a bit worse. Anyway, that was PSVR Super Show episode 6. Thank you to all my patrons / producers. Thank you for the support. This is the people with the highest tier patron, $5. Thank you very much. But of course, if you want to support me and this channel, you can support me on Patreon. Go there, patreon.com/PolishPolVR, and just from the $1, you can support me and help me on this journey making this channel. And that's it, bye.